What planet is he from? Meghan Markle's lie about her Nigerian roots is once again beyond our comprehension. Hello everyone. As the title suggests, it's amazing how each of our shared concepts slips away without a trace with each of Meghan's compliments. And what do we have here? Let's watch our video. Welcome to the Princess Diana News YouTube channel. Last weekend, Harry proved he's the ultimate parrot when he echoed Meghan's claim that she has 43% Nigerian DNA at the Invictus Games, following her declaration of this fact during her Archetypes podcast. Well, a possible clue that prompted me to do some research on his mother's DNA. So I found out that the Ragland side of the family goes back 9 generations in the United States, and there are a lot of Black Americans as well as some other unknown races. Well, that would be 9 generations of bidirectional American DNA. Now, Meghan claims to be so highly educated. Does she even realize that we only inherit 50% of the DNA from each parent? It doesn't matter who we resemble more. So, with 50% of her DNA coming from her father, Thomas Markle, who is of 100% white European ancestry, it is pretty amazing that over a 9-generation period of so many ancestors in her mother's family tree, somehow, miraculously, only 7% of Doria's DNA is not Nigerian. And that's especially remarkable when you think about the fact that an average Nigerian citizen has an average percentage of less than 40% Nigerian DNA, thanks to the large population of introduced races over the centuries, especially from the Emirates. And that's all because of a very long and tragic history of slave trafficking, which, of course, the British colonial government was responsible for getting rid of. Wow, isn't it interesting that Meghan's mother, who is 9th-generation American, is 93% Nigerian? Well, my dears, all you supporters of Meghan and Harry's lies, please take a look at Doria Ragland's 100% DNA family tree and do your math. Fortunately, there is also an expert who spoke on this topic, Dr. Gates, and Dr. Gates explains that for Meghan to have a 43% mulatto Nigerian grandfather, Doria would have to be 86% Nigerian, which would make her 12.5% white. Therefore, Doria cannot be more than 87.5% Nigerian, essentially sub-Saharan African. As we mentioned before, based on DNA testing, she can't even be Nigerian. Now, considering that the average African American has approximately 25% undocumented white genetic ancestry, it is highly unlikely that Meghan would claim that she is 43% Nigerian. One said, many years ago, when I was a sophomore genetics major at USC, Thomas Markle's 50% donation wasn't scrutinized the way Doria was. Maybe he's Nigerian too, so Meghan's calculations work. DNA from both parents must be taken into account, and then only the possibilities can be discussed, because each fertilized egg is a toothed doll every time the egg and sperm meet. So if Thomas is also Nigerian and based on his percentage, we can do Meghan's math. But why would anyone spend so much time building something that is literally impossible? The point is that Doria's DNA was more detailed, but Thomas's DNA was not. We need to nail down the details to make a real calculation. I agree, it's unlikely there's anything Nigerian in Thomas. If someone tried to do an in-depth DNA study on Meghan's parents, they could do it, but it would be a waste of money. It's easier to think about what she said and realize that the likelihood of it being true is very low. And then of course we have to think about Meghan's reputation for telling the truth. Well, at this point it's safe to assume that Meghan Markle is lying. I know this may sound crazy. I know this is hard to come to terms with, but it looks like Meghan is lying. And I wonder because when she announced that she is Nigerian, I wonder if she even did more research because she stated that she wanted to learn more about her heritage. She doesn't have a job that she has to go to every day. I think she has a lot of free time. Speaking of Meghan's journey, let's talk about her father, Thomas. In an interview with British television, he did not beg, but expressed his sincere desire to see the invisible children before he died. He is now in his 80s that he suffered a stroke and still suffers from complications related to the stroke. It's all incredibly sad. But Meghan Markle is a psychopathic narcissist. So she only cares about herself. It's very sad that Thomas doesn't see what a horrible creature his daughter is. Meghan acts like she's doing all these charities, but there's no charity in her heart for her family or Harry's family. It seems that he has completely forgotten such a saying, charity begins at home. And now that we're on the subject of father-daughter father-son relationships, let's talk about the comments you made on the video titled, Diana's new tape drives a dagger in Harry's heart. Charles's youngest son was an unexpected mistake. So many opinions were expressed, and as usual, I will pass some of them. Patricia says that Harry is too much. It fell a while ago. Greed and extravagance usually do not end well. In the end, he proved himself to be unreliable and careless. A difficult road is ahead. He certainly does. Patricia, you hit the nail on the head with this one. I'm not saying it's impossible for Harry to ever have a good relationship with his family, but you're right. It will be extremely difficult for him if he even wants to. I mean, maybe he's too far away at this point. Come, people, Meghan is a heartless witch. She portrayed herself as a wonderful humanitarian, traveling to Africa, holding and kissing a bunch of babies, visiting various places, showing how wonderful she was and how much she loved everyone. But more than that, everyone loves it. But then, behind the scenes, it becomes clear who she really is. She was a terrible, terrible woman, and once she achieved fame and fortune, she ended the entire family. Most people still only have a mother and a father. Her father was always kind to her. Her father raised her well, or at least he tried to, but Meghan believed she was destined for great things in Hollywood. Then she became so sarcastic just because her father wanted to sell paintings, and I'm not saying it was the right thing to do. I mean, he did it wrong. However, he tried to make up for it. He is older now. His health is not good. In fact, he just wanted to see his daughter, and his grandson, if they were real. Harry wasn't much better, as he basically did the same thing to his father. We know how Harry grew up. Harry was raised to be a kind and decent man. He is loved. He was taken care of. They supported him. And he threw his family under the bus at the first opportunity. I know Thomas Markle has made mistakes, but he's still human. He has feelings and should live peacefully in the last years of his life, especially because of his illness. I know he wants to see his daughter. I know he wanted to see his grandchildren, if he had any. Wouldn't it be weird if her so-called children grew up and did the same thing to her and Harry? This is exactly what they deserve. I think Thomas Markle wants more than just to see his daughter, to see his son-in-law, to see his grandson, again, if they exist. He did everything he could to try to reconcile with Meghan. In his most recent interview, he even said directly on camera, "What can I do to fix this?" 1 Don't think he is a vengeful person. I think he's just a regular guy who wants to see his family, and I'm guessing, since he's not in good health right now, he'd rather it be sooner than later. Family values. Oh, yeah, Meghan. You really care about family values. How can she be so cruel to the father who loved her and supported her throughout her entire life? I don't understand how anyone can be so cold. Is it just because Meghan is really so ashamed of her family and because she lied so much that she shouldn't face them because they know the truth? Ugh, I don't think Thomas will see her again. I have to be honest with you about this. I think a lot of money has been burned and I think Meghan is too narcissistic. How will Meghan feel when her father dies and she still hasn't reconciled with him? Would she be ashamed? Probably not. How dare she ever deny him ever seeing his grandchildren again, assuming they were real? How could she do these strange things with the invisible child? Meghan Markle doesn't care about family values. The only thing she knows is how to seek and destroy. I mean, look what she did in the undefeated games. God, everything Meghan touches turns to dust. This is sad because Meghan Markle, if she wanted to, could really do some good in the world, but he is not human. He only cares about himself and destroys the people he thinks have wronged him. And what about you? Do you agree? Please let me know what you think in the comments below. If you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like and share with others who will enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe to the Princess Diana News channel to support us even more. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day and we'll be back for you tomorrow.